Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast, where we make learning English fun, natural, and part of your daily life. I'm your host, Sarah.
And I'm Bill, your co-host. We're here to help you improve your English while enjoying real, friendly conversations.
That's right. And today's episode is going to be a fun one. We're talking about cool things. You know, those amazing, fascinating, and sometimes surprising things that make you go, wow, that's cool.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about the temperature here, not cool as in cold, but cool as in interesting, impressive, or exciting.
Yes, we'll share stories, teach you new vocabulary, and explore different meanings of cool in English. So, by the end of this episode, you'll have some new words and expressions you can use in your own conversations.
And maybe you'll even have your own cool story to share with us.
So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump into today's topic, cool things. So, Bill, before we dive into all these cool things, tell me, has anything cool happened to you recently?
Actually, yes. Last weekend, I went to this little science fair in my neighborhood. They had a robot that could draw portraits of people in under 2 minutes. I just sat there, and this robot arm sketched my face. It was honestly kind of amazing.
That is cool. And cool here means impressive or fascinating, not cold, right?
Exactly. The weather was actually pretty warm, but the robot was cool because it was interesting and unusual.
Speaking of unusual, I had my own cool moment yesterday. I was walking in the park, and I saw a group of people doing something called slacklining. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it's when you walk on a flat piece of webbing stretched between 2 points, like a tightrope, but closer to the ground.
Yes, they made it look so easy, but I could tell it takes a lot of balance. I was impressed, so I went over to watch. One guy even jumped and spun while balancing, so talented.
That's awesome. So for our listeners, here are some ways we can say cool in English. Awesome, very good. Exciting, fascinating, very interesting, neat, kind of an old-fashioned but still friendly way to say cool, amazing, surprising, in a good way.
Exactly. And remember, these are informal words, so they're great for everyday conversation, but maybe not for very formal writing.
Right? If you're in a job interview, you probably wouldn't say, "Your company is cool." You'd say, "Your company is impressive," or "I admire your company."
Good point. But when you're chatting with friends, cool is perfect. All right, Bill. Before we share more examples, let's make sure everyone understands what we mean when we say cool things.
Good idea. So, in everyday English, cool is an informal word we use to describe something that's impressive, interesting, or fun. For example, if your friend buys a new phone with an amazing camera, you might say, "Wow, that's cool."
Right. And cool can also describe a person, someone who's stylish, relaxed, and confident. You might hear, she's such a cool teacher, meaning she's not boring, maybe even a little fun and inspiring.
Exactly. But we should also point out that cool can mean something completely different, a temperature that's not hot but not cold. Like, it's cool outside today. That's the literal meaning.
Yes, so it's important to use context. If you say cool after hearing someone's story, people will understand you mean interesting. But if you're talking about the weather, it means a little cold.
And then there are expressions with cool, like cool as a cucumber, which means calm and relaxed even in a stressful situation.
Another one is cool down, which can mean to relax after being upset, or literally to lower the temperature of something, like cool down before you speak, or let the soup cool down before eating.
Oh, and stay cool. That's a casual way to say stay calm, or sometimes just goodbye in a friendly way.
So, to sum it up, when we say cool things today, we're talking about impressive, interesting, or unique things, not the temperature. All right, Bill, let's get into the fun part, our own cool experiences. I'll go first.
Go for it.
Last year, I visited Iceland, and I saw the northern lights for the first time. It was freezing cold, so in this case, cool had both meanings, but also, it was just breathtaking. The sky was filled with green and purple lights moving like waves.
Wow. I've seen pictures, but I bet seeing them in real life is a whole different level.
Absolutely. It felt like nature was putting on a show just for us. And I learned a new phrase there, bucket list. Do you know it?
Of course, a bucket list is a list of experiences you want to have before you die. So, seeing the northern lights was on your bucket list?
Exactly. And now I can check it off. I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
That's amazing. Okay, my turn. A few years ago, I got the chance to ride in a hot air balloon. It was at sunrise, so as we floated up, the whole horizon turned orange and pink. The air was so still, and it felt like we were just quietly gliding over the world.
That sounds peaceful. Were you scared at all?
A little. At first, I mean, you're standing in a basket hundreds of meters in the air. But then I got used to it and just enjoyed the view. I think the coolest part was seeing tiny rivers and little houses far below, like a miniature world.
I can imagine. And for our listeners, notice how we're using descriptive vocabulary here. Breathtaking, so beautiful, it takes your breath away. Bucket list special experiences you want to have in your lifetime. Peaceful, calm, and relaxing miniature. Very small compared to normal size.
Right. When you tell a story about a cool thing, using these kinds of words makes it more interesting and paints a picture for the listener.
Exactly. And that's why storytelling is such a powerful way to practice your English. It's not just about vocabulary, but also about sharing emotions and details. You know, Bill, one of the great things about traveling is discovering cool things from different parts of the world.
Absolutely. Every culture has something unique that makes people go, wow, that's cool.
For example, in Japan, they have these incredible vending machines. They don't just sell drinks or snacks. You can get hot meals, umbrellas, fresh flowers, even batteries, all from a machine on the street.
That's amazing. And it's not just about convenience. It's part of their culture of efficiency and innovation.
Right. And in Morocco, I saw traditional tile work called zellige. It's made from tiny, hand-cut ceramic pieces arranged in beautiful geometric patterns. Honestly, the detail and precision were mind-blowing.
That's a great word. Mind-blowing means something is so impressive, it almost shocks you.
Exactly. How about you, Bill? What's a cool thing you've seen around the world?
When I visited Norway, I saw the midnight sun. In the summer, the sun doesn't set for weeks in certain parts of the country. At midnight, it's still bright outside. It's such a strange and magical experience.
I've always wanted to see that. And I think another cool cultural thing is festivals. For example, the Holi festival in India, the Festival of Colors, where people throw brightly colored powders in the air to celebrate spring.
Yes, it's joyful, colorful, and full of energy. And it's a good reminder that cool things aren't always objects. They can be traditions, events, or experiences.
For our listeners, here are a few advanced words from this part. Innovation, a new idea or way of doing something. Precision, exactness, and accuracy. Mind-blowing, extremely surprising, or impressive magical special in a way that feels wonderful or enchanting.
And here's your mini vocabulary challenge. Can you think of a tradition or object from your culture that could be described as mind-blowing or magical? Try writing about it using these words.
Yes, it's a fun way to practice English and also share a little piece of your culture with others. All right, listeners, now it's your turn. We've shared our cool experiences, but we want to hear about yours.
Yes. Think about something you've seen, done, or experienced that made you say, "Wow, that's cool." It could be a place you visited, a skill you learned, or even a small but special moment in your daily life.
And here's the challenge. Describe it in English using at least 3 of the new words we've introduced today. Words like breathtaking, mind-blowing, peaceful, fascinating, awesome, or unique.
You can write it down in a notebook, share it in the comments of this episode, or even record yourself saying it out loud. The more you use these words, the more natural they'll feel in your conversations.
Exactly. And remember, practicing English doesn't have to be boring. Talking about cool things you love is a fun way to build your vocabulary and confidence.
So, what's cool for you? We can't wait to find out.
All right, Bill, it's time for our quick fun quiz.
Oh no, I didn't study.
Don't worry, it's all about cool things. So I think you'll do fine. And listeners, you can play along too. I'll ask 3 questions, and you try to guess the answers before Bill does.
Challenge accepted.
Question 1. What is the world's largest living structure that can be seen from space? Is it A. The Great Wall of China, B. The Amazon rainforest, C. The Great Barrier Reef?
I'll go with C. The Great Barrier Reef.
Correct. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is so big it's visible from space, and it's definitely a cool natural wonder.
1 point for me.
Question 2. Which country is famous for the traditional dance called the haka? A. New Zealand, B. Brazil, C. South Africa.
That's A. New Zealand, the haka, is performed by the Maori people.
Exactly. It's a powerful cultural tradition and a really cool thing to witness.
Okay, 2 for 2. I'm on a roll.
Question 3. True or false? The word cool has been used in English slang for over 100 years.
I'm going to say true.
Correct again. Cool started being used as slang in the early 1900s to mean calm or impressive, and it's still going strong today.
And that's why it's such a cool word. It never goes out of style.
Nice work, Bill. And how did you do, listeners? Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode all about cool things.
We've talked about what cool means in English, shared some of our own cool experiences, explored cool traditions around the world, and even tested your knowledge with a fun quiz.
Exactly. And remember these key vocabulary words from today: breathtaking, mind-blowing, peaceful, fascinating, awesome, unique, innovation, and precision. Try using them in your own conversations this week.
Also, don't forget the expressions we learned, like cool as a cucumber, cool down, and stay cool.
We'd love to hear from you. Share your own cool story in English using some of today's words, either in the comments, on social media, or just with a friend.
And remember, the more you talk about things you enjoy, the more natural your English will sound.
Thank you for listening to the English Learning Podcast. Until next time.
Stay cool, everyone.